Oh, wrong one. What's up and welcome to Champions of Lore, a show about all the kick-ass stories behind some of Idle Champions' coolest campaigns and characters. Every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time here on twitch.tv/C&E Games or later on your favorite podcast service. B. Dave Walters and Ern M. Evans talk about all the Idle Champions lore that's fun to know about. If you're with us live in the chat, you can leave a question that I, Treavor Bettis, will ask them later on the show. You can also appreciate the really cool magnetic hourglass that Jason's holding up.
I don't know how the F it works, but it's awesome.
And speaking of Jason Charles Miller, thank you for being here with us to celebrate our 50th episode.
I know this is great. This is great. And you guys are catching up with Bardic Inspiration. I can't take any more days off.
You can't. We're coming for you. We're coming for that number.
52. That's a very small buffer. We got to keep that. We got to keep ahead. You guys going to go on vacation or anything? Got anything?
There's a lot of lore to cover. I don't know if we can do that.
And we keep making new lore. That's the problem also. There,
I know, yeah.
Right. Jason,
we keep making new songs, buddy.
There you go.
That is true.
You know. Shots fired.
That is true.
We use your lore and turn it into songs.
I mean,
then we'll do a show about songs about lore.
If you ever want to convince Dylan to let you do a song about why Orcus loves the Raven Queen so damn much, and he holds a boombox up for her,
that's an easy sell. With
I mean, you also could write a song about his favorite class bards and like why they're the best. Yeah.
So Jason, in case people don't know who you are, which I don't know how that would be, I literally tell them to watch Bardic Inspiration all the time. Who are you for the fine people who may not know?
I'm the guy that when I post a song on TikTok, I get comments that are like, "Keep it up." You might get somewhere someday. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, because that's the thing. If you don't know someone, right, and you don't know anything about them, so chances are I could just be some dude trying to make it, So, we'll just keep it at that.
I'd say two things. One, are we not all dudes trying to make it? and two, at least they weren't like, "Don't quit your day jobs, Easy Top."
Right?
Like,
yeah.
so...
I got a few of those. Usually I get like
no accounting for taste.
Good. No, but anyway, no. So I host a show right here on Codename Games called Bardic Inspiration, where every Tuesday we write a different song, Dylan and I, with the audience. We write a song about a different character in Idle Champions, aka Dungeons and Dragons. So the audience will give us suggestions. We'll pick a topic. The audience throws out suggestions, and we write a song in 2 hours. In fact, yesterday we wrote a song about kobolds in like 57 minutes. Because they're kobolds, and everyone was just waiting for us to write a kobold song. We knew it. It was inevitable. But beyond that, I've had a lifelong career in music. I've been blessed to have a wonderful career in music, and then about 17 years ago, I was singing on a Pop-Tarts commercial and said to myself, maybe I should give voice acting a try. So I took some acting lessons, and I've been in like 200 productions since. So I'm one of those hybrids who happens to also play D&D. So I'm a musician who's a voice actor who plays D&D. And that's all you need to know.
I'd like the record to show that you wrote a song about white dragons named Oseoth and Ophiog in about 5 minutes. So you don't even need...
Yeah, it wasn't too long of a song, but still...
Full credit.
Yeah.
Full
marks, all that stuff.
You get full credit. You get full credit for that one.
Basically a wizard.
Yeah.
In
actual bard.
So I will take that.
Yep. An actual bard.
I have to ask a question about the Kobold Song.
Yeah.
Does it involve the lines "jump in the trench coat, guys"?
We did mention a trench coat. A trench coat was mentioned. Once again, this is the second song that I've written in my life mentioning three kobolds in a trench coat.
You're nearing your final form.
And the second song in 2021.
And that final form is 3 kobolds in a trench coat.
That's what it is, the final form. But it might be 4 kobolds in a trench coat.
Yeah, well, you know what? Because they want to look like a Goliath. 4 kobolds in a trench coat could be about Goliath height.
It's true.
Or mine, yes.
Yeah.
I think you're Goliath height.
I'm Goliath height. Yeah, right. Him. That is the problem. Yes. Erin.
Yeah,
sorry.
Who are these
yeah.
two other folks that we got with us today?
Oh, I'm Ern M. Evans. I'm the author of the Brimstone Angels saga and a content designer for Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. I also play Cecilia on Dungeon Scrawlers. And Havilar in Idle Champions presents The Trials of Mount Tiamat.
Hey.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that.
You know, that's the thing that's happening. B. Dave Walters here again. The fates are aligning. You can find me wherever fine streaming content can be located, up to and including tormenting my very dear friends on Monday nights on Idle Champion Presents. Votes are open now for next week for, you know, how you might be able to assist them, because clearly they need your help. Also,
is it giant healing potions or even more giant healing potions?
I feel like that's probably not in the
cards. Is it a potion of depetrification?
A potion of water breathing that also happens to depetrify.
There we go.
Yeah,
there we go.
Right.
I like that.
It's a weird side effect, but I love it.
Yeah.
Consult your cleric before taking.
So a lot happened on this week's ICP. But I would just say that I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Jason Charles Miller was the first person I met in Los Angeles in times long past, back in 2003, because I actually met him in Arkansas before I came to LA. So he always would point out that he's my first Angelino. He is.
I'm your first Angelino.
And what's weird to me is how we ended up in the exact same rooms through wildly different paths, and still we're just like, oh, hey
exactly.
man,
I know. I know.
Yep.
And the weird thing, I mean, we could go meta on it in a lot of ways, but so like he knew me from the music business side, and then we figured out that we were both nerds, and then ended up on the nerd side years later. But from different directions. It's kind of crazy.
You know, let me tell you this: since this is the 50th episode. Dang it, we can wax philosophical momentarily before
the lore of us.
That's true. This is our lore now. Yeah. So let me tell y'all how I even got into streaming. By the way, I don't know if I've told this story in this particular setting. I mean, I've told the story 100 times. So on the set of the very first movie I ever did, I met Damien Poitier. We became friends immediately. And along the way, I introduced Damien to Jason. And Jason had gotten in over at Geek and Sundry because, Jason, you knew Felicia.
Right.
And Foreververse was starting. And Jason got Damien in over at Geek and Sundry, which back during those days, I had a day job. And I'm not going to lie, in my heart, as you guys were like doing Foreververse and all this stuff, I was like, man, nobody asked me to come do stream. Like, you wouldn't know each other, not for me. Like, screw you guys, man. But of course, I didn't say anything. I kept it in my heart box. And then one day, Damien calls me and he's like, I got an idea for a show called Ask Your Black Geek Friend. And literally, I gave him the flash response to stop right there, I'm in. He called me on a Wednesday. We shot the pilot that Saturday. Geek and Sundry told us they wanted it on Monday, and the rest is history. But it is a very interesting, weavy thing.
There's a tiny detail in there, though, that you missed, and that is, and I asked Damien a question, and it's because so the band Body Count asked me to appear on one of their songs, and which is Ice-T's metal band. And so I was very proud. I was a Body Count fan since I was in high school, so I was very proud that I was on a Body Count song. But the problem was this: the name of the song is No Lives Matter. That's the name of their song. And so I went to Damien. I'm like, Damien, I want to like tell people that I'm on this song, but like, what's a way that I can say it that's not going to be offensive? And he's like, oh, ask your black geek friend, huh? And then that put the idea of the show in his head.
Yeah. So all roads lead back to Jason M. Is what I'm saying. All roads lead. You were the herald that lifted me up of the darkness of the deep south, and here we are. Now I'm about to send your character plunging into the darkness of the abyss when you fail two more times.
I think I mentioned that we had been friends for 18 years when my character
You did.
Hey,
I didn't do
that.
Guys.
I didn't do that to Brig. The dice did that to Brig. Yeah.
So we're here today to talk about the Witchlight Carnival, which everyone here has some pretty good experience with, minus me. I got the pretty book. That's as far as the experience has gotten me. I've not had time to read this front to cover yet.
Just because it's here, I've got the other version too, but here's the standard version, which is a cool cover as well. I love both covers.
Mine's digital.
I was about to be that guy and be like, "Oh, here it is. Oh no, that's the collector's edition of Isbin."
How did that get in there?
Oh no,
this whole thing.
No, this whole thing.
Witchlight Carnival. The Wild Beyond the Witchlight, the adventure. This is basically Curse of Strahd for the Feywild. It is a campaign that takes you into the Feywild and you learn about it and are exposed to it through your adventures there. And if you've been watching the Black Dice Society, the show that I DM on Thursdays, and if you haven't, jump on in. We've had a detour into the Feywild. So they've been at they've been in the Feywild for about 4 or 5 episodes now. We've been at the Witchlight Carnival for 2 or 3 of those. I will say this book is gorgeous.
Oh yeah,
it really is.
There's been so many times that I was like flipping through it, and and I'll just be like, "Oh my god, look at this picture! Everybody, look at this page!" You know, like I can't do it justice, but the Displacer Beast on page 40
with the wings, so pretty.
She's gorgeous. So
the maps are so.
Oh
cool.
yeah,
they are.
Yep. So what the Witchlight Carnival is, because theoretically that's what we're discussing, not just this adventure, is. If you read Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft, there is a carnival there that can travel between the domains and even travel outside of the domains. It has a parallel carnival called the Witchlight Carnival. So much so, the founders of these carnivals traded. That's why Isolde in Elf. Wait, what are the like super elves? Eladrin.
Super elves.
Yeah.
That's what they are.
Yeah, that's what they are.
You know,
I'm sorry,
you took your elf and you added elf, so it was an elfier elf.
I just never heard them refer to as that.
Trench coat. Yeah, 3 elves in a trench coat. She is an Eladrin, and she runs this, spooky dark carnival. And 2 Shadarkai which are shadow elves, run this like bright happy carnival. And it also can travel around in and out of the Feywild and in and out of the plains. So, all right, that's enough of my monologue. I'm gonna let somebody else have some oxygen. Also, the Displacer Beast I love so much, that's her on the cover. That's why I'm like, even they knew that. Even though they knew that picture was dope.
Yeah, it's kind of a moving Fey crossroads. It's a passage into a particular domain of the Feywild. Also, it's a super fun carnival. There's so many interesting things for your characters to do exploring this place. But first, you got to get in.
You got to get in.
Yeah. Because there's a problem. If you try to get in without a ticket, bad things happen.
Well, there's also a time constraint on going there, right? Like it's not always around.
Well, yeah.
I think in the beginning of the book it said you recall that it comes around once every 8 years.
Yep.
It's different for each realm, but still.
It's not always around, although mysteriously it's there when you need it. That's weird. It's almost like like some sort of plot device.
The greatest of D&D mechanics.
That is true.
What did you say one time during our show, the Gax Pack? You were like, plot device trumps all dice rolls or something like that.
Yeah. Sounds like something I'd say. Yeah.
Does not need attunement.
That is right, exactly. It doesn't take up a slot either. What's interesting to me about it, I know I just said I was going to let somebody else talk, and then I'm talking again. This was something that was conspicuous to me. If you pay close attention in Van Richten's guide, and you read the carnival section, and you read Isolde's story, and you read about Zybilna in Isolde's story, Zybilna's awful. And then you get over here to the Wild Beyond the Witchlight, and it's all like, she's your fairy godmother, don't worry about it. Yeah, no, she's great. Yeah, everybody loves Zybilna, and I'm like, we talking about the same person? Yeah, so which maybe not to spoil anything. Nope, wait, I would spoil it. Never mind. I can't say it without spoiling anything. But what I did want to say, and then I'm going to stop wording, is yes, the Carnival is fantastic, and there's so much, and that's why we spent so much time here with the Black Dice Society, because I didn't want to rush it. That they're like, ooh, I want to go on dragonfly rides. I want to go on the minecart ride that goes into the mouth of a dragon, which of those of us of a certain age are like, aha, I know what that is. Yeah, really great stuff.
Well, you're just talking there about like some of the things. Is that all of the attractions that you can find there? What are some things that you might be able to find in the Witchlight Carnival?
There's lots of rides. There's a bubble pop teapot, which actually that might be that's not the dragonfly one. So yeah, you've got it looks like a big teapot, and you get to come out in a bubble and float around. There's a carousel there's a carousel run by a centaur. His name is Diana Cloppington.
I know, and she's actually not even a centaur. She was turned into one with a horrible curse. She wanted to be. She went to. I can't remember the name of the witch right now, but she went to one of the witches and she asked to be reunited with her lost horse.
Oh no!
So the witch said, "Okay, I'll reunite you," and she merged her into the horse with a curse, and so now she's a centaur.
There's a lot of that where it's like, it's fun, except there's a very dark underpinning.
Yes, it's very monkey paw-esque.
Mm-hmm.
It is incredibly monkey paw-esque, where it's all like, be very careful what you ask for, because you will get that thing. Yeah.
That
I just want to say real quick.
By the way,
I just want to say real quick, Stabigail, the Kobold in the chat, no, you should feel bad. Don't bring up that Full Metal Alchemist episode. How dare you?
How dare you, Stabigail? This is supposed to be a happy occasion on our 50th episode.
How dare you?
Too soon. I realize it's been 20 years.
There's a cake eating contest you can do in the Fairy Orchard. There are gondola
totally
swans.
going to turn out great, right?
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
fine. Eat those. They're fine.
Totally fine. Hey, I love that we've got Igwilv in here and her stats.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't know if Igwilv has ever been statted up before, because
that's a good question.
Igwilv, I believe, was originally the brainchild of Gary Gygax, because in the Lost Caverns of Sajkanth, which the Gax Pack just completed, you are actually exploring her abandoned underground fortress, and she's long been dead for hundreds of years. So it's cool, or in that time.
Yeah.
So it's cool that she's back and in the Feywild.
Ironically enough, the thing I said I wasn't going to spoil is that Igwilf shows up in this adventure. So yeah,
she's there.
Cameo in
you don't know why she's there, but she's around. She's always around. She's always around.
When is she not around? Yeah.
Well, apparently, when you're exploring, the fortress after she's dead.
She's not around then. It was her daughter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That came out in 1980, so there's no spoilers there. Her daughter was.
But that is true, because that character's been around in the lore for a long time, and I genuinely can't think of a time I've seen a stat block for them.
Yeah, cool. I mean, because she's like an arch wizard. You know what I mean? Like
she was used as DM magic.
yeah. She's strong enough. That's what her stats were. Strong enough.
Yeah.
Especially back in those days, as we've commented many times, the game used to be far more adversarial.
Yep.
And so having certain characters that it's like, she wins, was kind of that thing. You know what I mean? We attack her. And it's like, well, she summons 8 Bigby's hands that squeeze your heads off.
Right.
Just because.
Because that's what happens.
Just because.
Because that's what happens. Yep. Mm-hmm. Because reasons.
There's actually a statue of her in the Hall of Illusions in Witchlight Carnival.
There's a statue of Tasha.
That's
in the
true.
In the Hall of Illusions.
I'm assuming if you're watching this show that you'll make the intelligence check to know that's another name.
I certainly hope not. Otherwise, we'll need our show to explain these things. That Tasha and Igwilv are the same person. Dun dun dun.
Da-da-da-da-dum.
Yeah.
So you brought up Hall of Illusion. I assume there's some magic things going on there. Almost said something else.
That would be accurate.
Yeah. Possibly some illusion magic, I would assume.
There's there's a lot of mirrors and things. I'm not gonna spoil stuff.
The overall vibe, I know this is so tough, where they're like, talk about this thing, and we're like, but we don't want to mess it, we don't want to ruin it for you. The general vibe of the Witchlight Carnival in particular is, tricky. You know what I mean? Like, it's not terrible and horrifying. And I mean, you can tell fairly dark Feywild stories. I'm in the process of telling one, but it is more just like, something's amiss. There's a mystery here. And then there is Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, who are these little boys. Wait, where's the little? They're a little sheeny with
they're a little shiny. That's just how they are.
A lot of lights are on in this room. You wouldn't know. But yeah, Mr. Witch and Mr. Light. That's Mr. Witch and that's Mr. Light. And they got a secret, and you kind of got to unravel what it is.
I'm sure they've got a few.
Let me spoil it for you. Sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
I'm like, give them the TLDR, Jason. Save him.
All right, I'm not going to spoil anything else. Just that someone is statted up, and I just thought that.
Oh no! I genuinely think that part is fine. I really do. But the speaking of Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, though, they are Shatterkai, correct?
They are Shadowkai elves. Yes, Erin, please.
Oh, that was it. I said yes.
Oh, okay. And they
got tired of the Shadowfell. They wanted a little light and color.
Yeah.
I like Mr. Light in particular, is I believe the one that's dressed sort of like the Harlequin clown, and he seems to be very much enjoying a place that has a little more vibrancy in it.
I don't know.
Mr. Witch seems a little more business minded.
A Shatterkai that has a smile on their face and is giddy makes me very nervous.
Mr. Witch, it definitely seems like a good cop, bad cop thing.
Yeah.
Mr. Witch is definitely like sign this contract. Whereas Mr. Light is like, everything's going to be great.
Don't bring the vibe down. I think he'd get very mad if you brought the vibe down.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, because Treavor, you mentioned a timer that you're on. The carnival actually has a vibe, and what you do, the carnival gets happier, the carnival gets sad, and like if you harsh the carnival's mellow, bad stuff starts happening. Like,
that's right, players. You can literally roll a vibe check.
You can literally roll a vibe check.
I hope that someone's writing a screenplay based on this, because it's a horrible horror movie waiting to happen.
It is. It really is. Like the amount of things in this that okay, I don't know if you all saw a movie, but I was obsessed with it when I was a kid. The movie Little Nemo. Where it's Little Nemo in Slumberland. Yep. And this Fuel. Yeah, and this book totally gives me that vibe where it's like everything is bright and happy and everything's fine. Don't go down to the basement where we have the embodiment of all evil and nightmares.
Don't look behind the curtain.
Yeah. I feel like that is a very apt thing for this adventure in this setting, is do not look behind the curtain at all.
Yeah, definitely, because there is one thing that you experience there, and I won't tell you which thing, where you're confronted by something you're afraid of, and if you make the saves, it's a funny thing. You know what I mean? It's like a laughable version of the thing you're afraid of. But if you fail the saves, it's full-blown Nightmare on Elm Street, and it is that thing, and it comes out of the ride after you.
No, thank you. Hard pass.
Yeah. Yep.
Can I also?
There's
an NPC in here that's one of the hands that works at the carnival. So there are a couple of these characters that are people who work in the carnival, and you can get information from them about what's going on with the carnival and where are the things you're looking for, depending on how you start the adventure. But there is a clown, an angry clown named Thaco.
I cannot believe they did that.
Yep.
I find that delightful.
And Thaco's a jerk. Yep.
Yeah.
That's
You know what? I would actually like to ask Jason and B Dave, can you give us some lore on Thaco? Not the clown, but the name.
May I, Dave?
Oh, please.
Thaco stands for 2-hit armor class 0.
Oh.
And the way armor class used to run up until 3.0 was the better your armor was, the lower your armor class was. So, like, if someone had a 0 armor class, they were pretty good. You know what I mean? If someone had, like, the ultimate was, like, you know, the paladin with -10 armor class with his +5 plate mail. So, like, that, I'm really glad that they did correct that, because that was always so confusing. So, on your character sheet, instead of just like your attack roll and your bonus, it was what was your what was your Thaco 2-hit armor class 0, or on some of the older sheets it had like here's what you need to hit armor class 10, here's what you need to hit armor class 9, and so on, all the way down to like -3, whatever they could fit on the sheet. So Thaco or Thaco is just something that was ingrained in our brain as players, but I'm so glad that they got rid of it, because it makes so much more sense the way the system is now.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, it was an adversarial time.
Right, I know. So much math.
The rules themselves were resisting you. How about 1800 strength?
Yes,
Dude,
yes.
I started playing D&D in 4th edition, and when I got into it, I was like, oh, I'm in, let's go. And I found the Baldur's Gate game, and I was so freaking confused when I found some armor, and it was like, what do you mean this is a 4 and my plate mail's a 0? What is that? How does that make any sense? I did not understand it at all.
The Baldur's Gate games have the 2nd edition rules.
Yep.
So,
fun times.
Still great games though.
Oh yeah.
Fun.
I mean, we wouldn't be here without them. Yeah, but it's they have evolved appropriately. Let me say that, you know, because I've gone back and I've played some 1st and 2nd edition games along the way, like, you know, the Gary Con and things like that, and it's like, I'm good. Give me advantage and disadvantage. Again, I do appreciate it when on occasion people try and, like, you know, game-splain things to me, and I very much am like, don't quote the deep magic for me when it was written, you know?
Game-splain. Pretty good. I know this isn't a huge spoiler, but there's a goblin named Chucklehead, which, you know, nobody, that's an insult where I come from. But,
which does seem like a very apt name for a goblin, one that they would even choose.
He has a maggot in his head that he talks to, and it turns him good. So, but the maggot will kill him in 30 days.
Oh my god.
But if you kill the maggot with a healing spell, the goblin will become evil again.
Oh,
damned if you do, damned if you don't.
That's a disgusting moral conundrum.
Yeah.
Let me. I will just say this, since you brought up Chucklehead. You know, the way, and it is an insult where I come from as well, for the record. Because where we come from is not so dissimilar. But one thing I will say is, if you're playing this game at your table, it's like, this has some of the richest NPCs.
Yes.
Like, a lot of times as the DM, just because you just get like a name and a stat block, and you're like, I want to go talk to, you know, Grimax, the mercenary. Let's hear his story. And the DM's like, he doesn't have one, so
he's got a Grimax.
Yeah.
It's got a skull on it
with an axe. And he's Grimax, you know what I mean? But in this in particular, like, if they take the time to describe it, if they take the time to give the NPC a picture, there's a lot about them in this book, and there's a lot about their story and what they're like and what they want, because all of them want something. So you can cut deals, you can negotiate. Like, it is way more interactive in this particular book than in a lot of them. So like, I mean, Hurley, who was, or no, I think it's Burley. No, Hurley. You meet who's looking for his brother Burley.
Other way, I think.
Is it Burley that's looking for
Burley
Hurley?
is looking for
Right. It's the I will say
The mermaid and the mime who are in love, but someone took his voice, so he can't tell her.
Yep.
Aw.
And she thinks he ghosted her. Yeah. That displacer beast. I won't tell you what's up with the displacer beast, but you should go engage the talk. Don't engage.
Yes.
She's a chunky girl. Talk to the displacer beast.
That is the sweetest displacer beast I think that has ever been put in a D&D supplement.
Which is a statement that I didn't really ever see us making, but
Yeah.
I'm with you on
Right?
it. Yep.
I'll be honest. The main so I actually bought the book that Jason has, the cover one, and I later found this one and bought it also because we actually call our cat Penelope a displacer beast because we swear to God she can bend light and get to places that she wasn't.
Teleporting cat. Yep.
Teleporting cat, yeah. So that was the main reason. And I love that there's big displacer beast presence in this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and her name is Durlagron, which is another name for the displacer beast, which you don't see come up a whole lot.
I actually did not know that.
Deep lore. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
actually that reminds me, Jason, you guys did an amazing displacer beast song on Bardic Inspiration.
Thanks. That's one of my favorites, actually. It's one of my new favorites. We, when we start to write, because we've written so many songs and it's just me and a guitar, we often think of a different genre each time, and then sometimes we'll think of a song that like might be for a certain artist.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, we never parody other songs, but we try to write songs in the style or inspired by. And so the Displacer Beast song, we said, what would it sound like if Ozzy Osbourne sang a ballad about
so
a
good.
Displacer Beast? And it just, it's one of my favorites.
Mods,
I love it.
Mods, if you can drop the link to that in the chat, I would highly appreciate that because everyone's got to listen to it. It's so dang good.
It's called Displaced Displacer.
Yeah. That was one of the episodes I got to sit in for, and I was so happy because you guys nailed the Ozzy Osbourne sound. So good. So we talked a little bit about some people you can find there, but like what are some other beings you might cross paths with in the Witchlight Carnival? Is there just like people of all ancestries throughout here, or are they all elves?
Oh no, I mean the
There's
cool
a
thing too
lot.
is not only will you cross paths with these creatures, you can actually be these creatures. You can finally be a fairy. Everyone's always wanted to be.
Hey,
And
finally.
everyone's sort of homebrewed fairies for years, but you can finally be a fairy, and you can be a rabbit person.
Yeah, the
Harengon.
Harengon. And but you know, the only thing that I'm disappointed about, and I'm sure this will come back or whatever, is I understand that maybe online or during the beta testing there were owl folk
They're
Oh,
for
yeah.
something else.
that were,
Yep.
oh, that's for something else. Okay,
Yep.
so that may come, that may happen. Okay,
Yeah, I
good,
think
because I was like, man, I want to be an owl person.
Right?
Yeah, but
Yep.
hopefully that comes eventually.
Rabbits
so.
too. Yep.
Yeah.
Rabbits are great.
I want to be a Goliath-size owl person with a Harengon friend just sitting on their shoulder.
I love it.
For actually, one of the games that I'm prepping right now for a show, one of the players decided they were going to be a Harengon. I was like, I did not see that coming from you, and I'm so excited to see you play a rabbit person. Oh my god!
So rabbit people have a special place in my heart because you all know how much I love the game Battlelords of the 23rd Century, and there's a race in there that are called the Fot, which are redneck rabbits.
What?
Sorry.
They're redneck rabbits. Well, so a micro detour. There's a guy. There's a mad scientist that is the primary antagonist in the game, and he intentionally created the greatest warriors in the universe, and he made them insufferably annoying. So he bred them to be redneck rabbits. So. Run a lot of games with the FOT. So several of my old Patreon players have put together D&D characters based on their FOT characters. So they're the Haragon. A lot of them are rednecks in my campaign now. As a shout out to the FOT. Mm-hmm.
Before we continue, I do want to say for the chat, remember you can drop questions in there and the mods will pick them up to ask at the end of the show. You can ask questions about Witchlight, Jason, Bardic Inspiration, anything you want in there, throw them in, and we'll see if we can get them at the end of the show.
Also, for the record, the Freely song's kind of great. You know, it's the Brimstone Angels Go. Also,
Basically, anytime you say Brimstone Angels, I hear go, go.
Right?
In my head, so.
mhm.
It legitimately gets stuck in my head for at least a minute after every intro that Erin does.
Okay, so I love that song so much, and I do still tear up whenever I hear it because it just like fills my heart up. But also, Drop of Time is the one that I listen to and get stuck in my head, and I'm like, because you can play Bardic Inspiration, the soundtrack, while you're playing Idle Champions, right? And I'm like, okay, if I ran Idle Champions on my phone and I played the music and then I put it through the speakers and I can listen to it in the car. So
Wait a minute, what's this about listening to the soundtrack? What is this?
That's right. You can get
now we have the official theme song to the whole game.
That's
out.
true.
Oh.
Also, plug the CD.
Oh well, I've got my own. I just had a new album come out on Friday.
Yeah.
Of my own music called From the Wreckage Part 2.
Heck yeah.
And you can, if you want to get an autographed copy, you can order it off my website. And if you just want to hear it, you can hear it anywhere where you listen to music. It's
Hell yeah.
streaming everywhere now.
Yeah.
very
Yay.
cool.
And you can also.
What were you gonna say?
Nope. Yep. I was like, yes, and Bardic Inspiration. That's all out, and you can listen to all of it.
Mhm.
Although, but because you did full studio versions of 10 of the tracks, right?
Right, of 9 of them so far, and you can hear them all in the game, or you can order them off of or you can download them from Epic or from Steam.
Mm-hmm.
So if you got a little jukebox in the game right now, and just turn on the jukebox and have a listen.
Oh yeah.
very good.
I love that. I love that Mars and Garwar just have that playing in the background during their streams the whole time.
Great.
But going back to the Harrigan real quick, one of my favorite things when that UA came out, I just remember Dylan messaging me and going, "BRB, gonna make a Harrigan that can jump 300 feet."
Nice.
So what other creatures might you cross paths with in the Witchlight Carnival? Anything of super cool interest and notice, or words that describe that I can't think of right now?
I mean, a giant talking displacer beast didn't do it for you, but
Right?
right.
Listen,
Tragic centaur.
I have ADHD. It only interests me for 30 seconds.
It's true. You're like, why am I bringing up old stuff? Yeah, right. Okay, no, I'm deploying the book again. Fine. Well, I will say this.
to a tree and sapling. Sorry.
Yes,
Yeah.
there are some shady customers that I won't spoil. But their character designs are terrifying. Salpig, the little girl, I'm just like, nope. Do not want.
Terrifying.
Yep, do not want. Yeah, but that's yeah. So they're not everyone at the carnival is your friend. You know.
Well, and I speaking of people who aren't your friend, I believe the players for Isle Champions have already crossed paths with a certain Kenku. Who is
she
a
come out already?
jerk.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. She's at the end of 1.2.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep.
Kettle Steam.
Yep. Kettle Steam is a jerk.
The antagonist, but who might be sort of helpful.
You know,
Are
maybe.
there helpful Kenku at all?
I mean, first of all, how dare you? How dare? Yeah. I will say, if for those of you that are fans of Magic, Eliwick Tumblestrum.
Oh, that's right.
Right. She is.
She's in.
We got a song for her too.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I mean, after 52, there's not a lot of people you don't have songs left for.
Oh
You know.
no,
You
there's
don't have a
still
Mehen
plenty.
song. I do
I
not.
was about to say we need a Black Dice Society song. I don't even know. I don't even know what style our song would be in. I'm like, because I don't know that you've gotten an
Well,
orchestral
once they're
pipe
in,
organ.
they got to be in Idle
Yep,
Champions.
that's
first,
true.
of course.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that could happen one day.
Maybe. I don't know. That'd be weird.
The guy could
Yeah.
smile.
Yeah. Who can say?
One of the really interesting things about Eliwick being in there, though, that I found, because I mainly gotten to read through the carnival section of the adventure. They actually do just straight up say she's a planeswalker.
Yeah.
Yep, she's a planeswalker. Like
That's what she does.
We're just throwing around that word now.
Yeah, that's her thing. Yeah. Yeah, that's her vocation.
But actually, going back to the thing of like stat blocks not being in the book, I don't think Eliwick actually has a stat block.
No.
She doesn't.
Yeah, just
I think it explicitly says like if they there's no interacting with her like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you don't get to attack her. She
Why
seems
would
to
you
be
want to? Yeah.
right. She seems kind of there to be like, here is some information you're missing.
She's all like, I am Magic the Gathering's Eliwick Tumblestrum. Hi. How you doing? Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah. Allow me to deliver vital exposition. Yep. Mhm.
I mean, if you're gonna have exposition, why not have it from one of the greatest? Well, actually, the greatest bard in the multiverse. Sorry, forgot. That's
Apparently,
Still find that difficult.
Yeah.
That seems very subjective.
Jason, I don't know if you've actually heard what B-Dave has said he would do if someone wished to be the greatest bard in the multiverse.
Make it not
I am
subjective is the answer.
only bard in the multiverse.
Only way to make that actually happen.
Yep, that's what I would do.
Maybe Brig better wish that soon.
Yeah, Brig needs to find a wish spell
Snuffed
fast.
out of existence.
Yep. That is
That's very
that
monkey paw of you too, B-Dave.
Again, I too am from a more adversarial time in the game of where you because again, back in the day, Wish could do literally anything.
Mhm.
But the Twilight Zone monkey paw version of it, where you would get exactly what you asked for,
Mhm.
but does not necessarily mean you would be happy once you got it. So
Yep.
I was so much so my players became so accustomed to that in the Patreon game there was a scenario where they had a wish and they were fighting a big bad, and a group of them worked for 6 weeks to word a wish that I could not break. and when the time came, they laid it on me, and I literally was like, and they have all these screenshots of me that I'm just like, I'm trying to find. I was like, how can I make this terrible? They got me though. They did get me. It was airtight. It was airtight. But that's how the game used to be. You know.
Can
Can I point out one tiny, silly kind of thing? Actually, it's 2 small, tiny things. One is that once you get in, you have to wear butterfly wings, so they knew that you paid.
You say have to like it's a bad thing.
You get to, which is also why Durlagron, the Displacer Beast, has enormous butterfly wings on.
Yeah, the crew. The crew all have.
That's actually just
everybody.
You can spot it's the crew. You can spot the
No,
people
I think
that
it's
work.
everybody.
I've been doing this a while now.
Okay. Okay. Well, the Witchlight skins for Idle Champions also everybody's got butterfly.
Well, I guess everybody's crew.
That's why Kettle Steam was wearing fake wings, because she's not crew. However, when your characters come in there, your characters do have the option of having wings they can wear too. That is true, but it's that's expressly you can tell the people that work there because they got wings. There's another thing you can do where you can compete to become the monarch of the carnival. Where there's certain things you can agree to do that again directly contribute to the mood of the carnival and whether or not you harsh the mellow, and you actually can be declared the monarch of the Witchlight Carnival, which actually really does not only affect the rest of the adventure, but affect any time you come to the Feywild from then on. They're all like game recognized game type thing, like, oh, you're the monarch of the carnival.
I have always wanted to be the prettiest fairy at the carnival.
Yep.
The other thing is there's a attraction called Pixie Kingdom where they turn you into pixies and you can do things when you're tiny, and they give you a pixie name. I think everybody should roll a D8 and find out what their pixie name is.
Oh yeah.
I'm doing it now. I'm doing it now.
God.
I'm not even gonna look at the book. We're going in. It's 6.
Your pixie name is Panache, and I'm pleased with that.
All right,
Wow.
let's see. 3.
Cotton candy.
Cotton candy. I need the colors of that in my beard now.
There you go.
What's
Jason,
mine?
what did you roll? Did you roll one?
You got a D8?
Wait, what am I rolling?
A D8.
Oh, D8. I rolled an 8.
You are Toad Hop.
All right, cool.
Although,
like
well,
that.
now you got to roll one, Erin.
I rolled 7, which is puddle mud.
Puddle mud.
I am disappointed in all of us for not rolling a 5, which is jelly bean starfish.
That is the best
So we'll
Jefferson
just give
Starships
that-
cover
how about-
band ever.
How about we give that one to Dylan?
Yes.
So he
Yeah,
can
they
have
do
the
Jelly
best
Bean and Jefferson
name.
Starship song.
I literally was like, yeah, Dylan. Dylan is our jelly bean starfish.
I love that. I love that we did that. We are getting towards the end of the episode, but I would be remiss, especially since you can unlock Brig Hellclaw right now in Idle Champions.
Yeah, you can.
Jason, is there any cool bits of lore about Brig Hellclaw that you want the viewers and listeners to know about?
In memoriam.
Oh my God!
Wow.
I'm hiding from that.
Oh my God.
Good Lord.
Well,
Sorry, not
I don't
sorry.
know, that just took all the wind out of my sails.
Oh, Jason, no.
The lore is.
Lord says he is not even dead yet.
He's this guy.
Oh no.
He sings great songs about
all right,
dragons.
well, but he's still alive in the game, so
Yes.
in Idle Champions, he's
true.
there for you. You know what's cool is I always wanted to create this weapon for him that like I like B-Dave, also grew up watching wrestling when I was a little kid, and I always remember the Honky Tonk Man. There was a wrestler named the Honky Tonk Man, and his big gimmick was his finishing move was he would break a guitar over his opponent's head, right? And so I made Brig's weapon in sort of in tribute to the Honky Tonk Man. And
I love
so
that.
instead of breaking it over his head, it's made of adamantine, and it's got spikes on the bottom. So don't ever ask him to play a song sitting down, because that's not.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. When I saw the art for Brig, I thought about. I'm like, how does he play that sitting down?
He doesn't. He doesn't. He attacks people with his weapon, and I made it. It's mainly a bludgeoning weapon, even though those spikes are there. So I gave it mace stats. So it's mace +3.
That's it's a +3 weapon. It's a +3 mace guitar.
The war loot, as we call it. Well, it's +1 in the Sirens of the Realms campaign, but
And
since
that
we're level
is-
17.
Is that where Brig originated from? Was that campaign?
Right. So Brig was a guest star on Sirens of the Realms towards the end of season 1, and then he just evolved into being a regular cast member when season 3 and 4 came around. But like for season 2, I was guesting a lot, but my guest spots were like 6 episodes at a time kind of thing. Sort of like Josephine on LA by Night. Like, she's guests so much, she's basically a regular cast member at this point.
I mean, she made it into the credits, so yeah. Her and Xander, they got there.
Yeah.
Speaking of, last episode of LA by Night this Friday at 8 o'clock. Night falls for the final time.
See what I did there?
Yep.
I did want to throw this one in. Counting Coup had a question towards the beginning of the show for Brig. Did Brig go to the Witchlight and ask to be a rock star? That's just wrong.
No, Brig hasn't been to the Witchlight yet. So.
Oh, boo.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rock star. That boo, Counting Coup.
You know what? Someone wrote that in chat yesterday too, or 2 days ago when I had been petrified. They said he's a real rock star now. I'm like, groan.
Boo.
Okay, the booing and the laughing does not convey well.
Sometimes they're so bad they're good, but that is just bad enough that it's just bad. It's just...
Oh boy. Oh yeah. The lurking writer says that was me a few days ago. Sorry.
I mean, I'm just saying Tiamat may or may not steal that disc though, but otherwise, whatever.
But yeah. Any other little tidbits about Brig?
Laudux just gave us another one.
Oh
Real
no.
bad.
What was it?
What was it?
What
We
a
take
dead
bad jokes for granted.
Stop it, chat. Stop it. You're in
Can't take you
timeout.
guys anywhere.
I am disgusted, but on behalf of Tiamat the Dark Lady, she is greatly pleased with all of you.
Wait, are you
Yes.
telling me Tiamat like enjoys them dad jokes?
Tiamat enjoys emotional torment. Just suffer. Just all of you suffer.
I feel like Jason just looked directly into your soul and went, "That checks out."
One thing about Brig though is I always, as a player, have been and I'm so glad that it's still in the game. I've always been fascinated with the Wand of Wonder.
Oh yeah, I saw that in your gear.
Wand of Wonder, it could cast a fireball, or it could turn the grass around you green, or it could turn your opponent blue, or it could cast a lightning bolt. Like the wand, or you could go like this, and just a bunch of butterflies fly out of the wand. Like I love that about the Wand of Wonder. And so I've always wanted to have a character that had one. So when I could pick one magical item, that was the item that I picked for when I was in Satine's game. And so that's always just been part of his personality, that, when stuff's happening, and there's nothing else to turn to, let's try the Wand of Wonder and see what happens,
That it is a good backup plan. It's like, well, we got nothing else. Who knows? Maybe it will help. Well, we don't have as many questions about the Witchlight Carnival. Mostly just more riffing and jokes.
That's self-validating.
Yeah. The lurking writer did ask, was Jason talking about Tasha because there was this attempt to play the demon and the witch. Is that one of the songs that you've done?
Yeah, we did do a song called The Demon and the Witch.
That's a badass name.
That is a badass name.
Right? Yeah.
Which is about Egwilv and...
is it Gratz?
Yeah, and Gratz. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to remember.
The broiest of gods, apparently.
Your voice for Gratz, good God. Hey, how's it going? Hey.
Yeah. What's up, Bailoff? How you doing? Yeah. A little tied up right now. What's up? Yeah, right. I mean, anybody that chooses those leather pants is just, he doesn't intend to be taken seriously. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Well, I think that is a good place to wrap up this episode. Jason, thank you so much for joining us and talk with us about pretty much everything.
Absolutely, yeah.
Wait. Sorry, I just remembered. I'm officially putting in a request for a love song for the Raven Queen and Orcus.
Second it.
What the song Orcus is playing in the boombox when trying to get her attention. We need to know what it is.
I will make sure
down right now in our doc.
There we go.
There it is.
It's-
Yep.
Oh.
Orcus wooing the Raven Queen.
Oh
Yep.
God.
All right.
Erin, I just love the fact that we have just willed this into being.
It will be a thing, dang it.
Just manifesting out of solid rock. That people are just
So
gonna be like,
there's no lore whatsoever.
Oh
like,
no, this
backing
is
that up. You
this is
guys just made
strictly
it
a
up.
joke that we went way too long on this show.
I mean, I think we've told the joke enough that we're starting to believe in it. Like, honestly, when they showed up in Trials of Mount Tiamat, my first thought is, oh, this is an abusive relationship, clearly.
Really? Because all
Like,
I was
not,
hearing,
hey, two evil gods standing next to each other. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, what is he doing to her? Like, I really was like, oh, Havilar's concerned about her.
seeing in my head, I just heard, hey, da 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 da.
That's better. That's
trailer
the
for a
start.
rom-com. But yeah,
like the Raven Queen's got to be flustered, carrying some folders, and like breaks the heel.
she has her hair up in a bun and glasses on at the beginning.
Yeah. Right.
Jason, where can people find you on the interwebs, and what awesome things are you working on?
Well, you can find me. First of all, if you're on Twitch, there's my Twitch channel right there.
There we go.
In the chat. So I'm on Twitch 4 days a week, so you can always find me either here or on my own channel or on the Gary Con live channel on Sundays. Although this Sunday, it's kind of like, I think it's apropos for final episodes. So the last episode of the season of the Gax Pack.
That thing is so cool.
That is
this
cool.
Sunday. Yeah,
Hey.
Kai made this.
Kai Norman made that. Yep.
Yeah.
Work.
So our last episode is this Sunday, and then we'll be back in the new year. But yeah, and then other than that, if you live in England, if anybody here is in England or Scotland, I'm actually going to be there in December. I've got 8 shows in the UK in December.
Nice.
So yeah, just check me out on my website, jasoncharlesmiller.com, and that'll link you to all of my socials, and follow me on there to get the latest info.
And what was the name of that new album again?
It's called From the Wreckage Part 2.
Part 2. Not the Reckoning. It's just Part 2. Erin, B-Dave, same question. Where can people find you? What awesome things you working on?
You can find me on Twitter at Ern M. Evans. You can catch me on Mondays on twitch.tv/Dungeon Scrawlers starting at 1:30 for Concentration Check, a co-writing space. So if you are doing NaNoWriMo, this is a perfect place to come and get some work done. And then after, blow off some steam with Idle Champions presents The Trials of Mount Tiamat, where I play Havilar alongside Brig Hellclaw, played by Jason Charles Miller, under the torments of B. Dave Walters, who's clearly channeling Tiamat herself.
Yeah.
Under the torments of B. Dave Walters is a sentence.
First of all, I need that hashtag. Second of all, she gave you an opportunity to just leave. You could just go.
I'm sure there were 0 strings attached to that.
These heroes, they never want to be on my side. It just you could just go home. No? Okay.
No. You can find me on the podcast writing about dragons and shit with Treavor and B. Dave Walters, where we talk about writing and all the things that go along with it. And then on Wednesdays on twitch.tv/Dungeon Scrawlers at 6:30 p.m. That's tonight. I just kind of put that together in my head. That's a long day.
That's great.
I play Cecilia on Dungeon Scrawlers with a bunch of other fantasy writers. And I wasn't there last week, and they let the chronomancer, who turns out to be an alternate reality version of my character, eat the timeline or something. So I don't know, I might be screwed. I don't think I'm sinking into an undead spa bog made of stone screwed, but something. So find out what the heck I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Well, please tell them they rated me as I was ending. So please tell them if they raid me this week, I'll be sure not to sign off.
All right. We'll come over.
Night, yeah.
B. Dave Walters, I say words about things. You can find me all over the interwebs, wherever fine streaming content can be located, with a significant announcement in the next month. You will know what I've been vaguely alluding to all this time. But a big thing's coming. I'm somewhere doing something 6 days a week. Don't even try and keep up with it. Just follow me on the tweetagrams at B. Dave Walters, and I'll tell you there what I'm doing then. I
still like the word you invented last night, vague bookery. That is a great word.
That's in the lexicon. See, that's it. We're inventing lore. We're inventing worlds. We're words. It's becoming Shakespearean.
It is. It truly is. We truly are the Shakespeare of CND.
We are the Shakespeare of the streaming space. The three of us. Yeah. We just need a cauldron. Just double toil and trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do that. There.
You can find me on the Difficulty Class podcast every Friday, except for this Friday, and maybe because we're having a little bit of delay there. Long story short, it'll be a little bit, but there's past episodes you can go check out. You can also find me on Twitter at the Treavor. There is an A hiding in there. Thank you to Jay and Mars for moderating in the chat and doing a fantastic job. And thank you to Codename Entertainment for giving us a chance to talk about some D&D and have some fun. If you missed any part of the show, it'll be up later today as a podcast on your favorite podcast service. And if you have any suggestions for future topics of lore that has to do with D&D and Idle Champions and whatnot, send it into championsoflore@codenameentertainment.com, and we'll see about doing that. And let's see what we got today. Today we've got Mars's Guiding Hand at 1, and then we have the Sketching Hour. there it is. Jason is showing off.
It's Miller's Guiding Hand.
The hand that feeds you. All right.
That should actually be the intro. Is just like it just cuts to Jason just slowly. That's the intro to Mars's Guiding Hand.
Done.
Yeah, and the sketching hour at 3, so be sure to stick around for those. But that is going to do it for this episode, the 50th episode of Champions of Lore. Thank you so much for tuning in every week and hanging out with us. And thank you, Jason, for being here to help us celebrate it and having a great time. But that is going to do it for this week's show. So until next week, Champions out.